Psycho-Cybernetics. And ultimately, to summarize the book as quickly as possible, it's about a doctor named Maxwell Maltz, and he was a plastic surgeon. And this plastic surgeon would change people's faces for a living. And some people, when they changed a scar, when they changed a particular feature about themselves, whether it was their eyes, their eyebrows, their nose, their lips, their breasts, their legs, whatever it may have been, some of these people still did not see themselves with this new change in their physical appearance. And they still acted the same. They thought they were the same person. They still heard the negative voices that they heard in their own mind. While on the other hand, some of his other patients miraculously changed. Their whole personalities changed. I'm not going to go through all the stories. If you want to go through the stories, read this book. It'll be very helpful in your education, very helpful in helping you become the best version of you, but ultimately to help you master life. This one book changed my life. And honestly, this is a book I just started reading again, and I wanted to share that experience with you guys and kind of give you the cliff notes, give you the things that are important to me, at least, that I enjoyed and I saw a lot of value from. And it starts with the self-image, right? When I gave you that story earlier with the two different scenarios, when I gave you those two different scenarios, those people saw themselves internally as some type of picture. What he claims is that our self-image will determine our actions and our outcomes in our lives. The way we see ourselves will actually determine what we actually produce in our universe. Because if you're some of my spirituality people, then you understand that the universe is just a reflection of you. Whatever you believe subconsciously is what you're producing in reality. And if you need to overcome your reality, you must learn how to reprogram those beliefs. So how do you go about that? Reprogramming those beliefs, I mean. I don't think there's one right answer, to be honest. I think it's a never-ending journey of learning who you are as a person, learning that self-image that you've created. Based on my own experience with the self-image, what I conceptualized was how you see yourself will determine the reality that you live. For a long time, I saw myself as a small person, someone that didn't have a voice, should be quiet, to be to the side, until I decided, no, enough is enough. I was loud, I was obnoxious. So I've gone both extremes, right? But it's because I want to change my self-image, the way that I look in my own mind. Now, guys, you got to understand, I think this is an important discovery. I think this is the best discovery in the world. And the reason why is because the way you see yourself in your own mind will dictate your reality. You can have master over reality if you are able to overcome this level of yourself. But how do you gain mastery of yourself? How do you allow your self-image to change in order to become the person that you need to become? Well, I think first it starts with understanding the beliefs, the person, I think it starts with the person that you are right now. Who is this person? Ask yourself that. What is he capable of? What does he want or she want in dreams, goals, and aspirations? What's holding you back? What's stopping you? What limiting beliefs have you claimed for yourself and made them part of your reality to anchor you to your current reality? What is that for you? Truly, do the work. Understand. Break down your psyche. Break down your self-image, you. Right? Because all it is your self-image is just accumulation of the successes, the failures, all the experiences that you ever had, and the way you have interpreted those experiences are creating the reality that you are experiencing right now because you believe in these things because they happen to you, which I get. They're a part of your reality. But you didn't know that you were manifesting a lot of these things. Now, get it. Granted, some of these things were out of your control by other people. But remember, other people also have control over their realities to shape it in the way that they want. To move everybody and bend them to their will. To master the force. Right? So you need to break down your self-image. How do you break down your self-image? Well, I can only tell you what I did to break down my self-image. I did this exercise called Best Self, Worst Self. So one of the universal laws is that the law of polarity, the yin, the yang, the good, the bad. I think you get it. For every opposite, one force is an opposite to it. Love, hate, you know, chastity, lust, polarity. In the 3D world, the law of polarity has an effect on all of us. Everything. And when you realize you're part of the universe, you are the universe, the law of polarity also has an effect on you in this form that you experience right now. Wouldn't you agree? Right? Because you created a self-image of yourself, and that self-image is based off the failures and experiences that you've gone through. While the best self version of you is all the successes that you gained in your life. Because even though the world is super negative, it wasn't all that bad. I'm sure you can find some good quality moments that were exciting, that made your heart race, that made you excited about tackling everything in your life and filled with aspirations, dreams, and goals, and power to transform your reality. But in the process, the best self, worst self is the first thing that you must do if you want to master your self-image is get complete clarity on who you've been. If you read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot. Taking journaling, meditating, visualizing. That's why I put it right here. Visualize, meditate. Because you need to get to understand you when all the noise is gone. And you need to create a new you when all the noise is gone. Because you got to understand, your brain cannot tell the difference between what is real and imagined. Think about it. When you are having a wet dream, it seems pretty real, doesn't it? Right? And so if that's pretty real, and your brain could literally create an experience and change the physical nature of your body, right? Because you're feeling there's a chemical reaction happening within you. Then if you can control and master the body, you can control and master the chemical reactions that happen within you. You see, everything's pretty much connected. Breaking the Habit of Being You, Psycho-Cybernetics, right? Getting clear on your self-image will help you understand how you tick and how you work, and then you can learn to master that version of yourself. That all makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Right? And so, for example, what I did for myself with word self, I looked at my weaknesses plus my flaws. I looked at my aspirations and my accomplishments. I got clear on the version of me who I've been and the limitations that were set upon me that I was working with because I believed them to be part of my own self-image. And so as you remove those beliefs, but first you must get clear, like I said, with your worst self, your best self, because that will create the identity of you in a nutshell. But again, if you're part of the spiritual community, I'm sure you understand that we are not that simple as beings, human beings, right? So we have the duality between us, but we also realize all that is, that self-image, that person that is you, is your ego. The identity of you. You experiencing your human experience based off of everything you've ever gone through. This is how you see yourself. But that's just one small lens of you, right? Because most people are looking at a small picture when you really need a big bird eye view and realize that you're a part of God and the universe. And all you are is just a droplet, a piece of that infinite intestinal light and spirit. And so if you can see yourself as the God you, that symbiotic relationship, right? Because it's both you. You're experiencing dimensions on different levels, different planes, right? It's all you. And my hypothesis here is that as you refine your ego, let me rephrase it. I don't think you need to shed or cut your ego. As you refine your ego, you'll align it with the God you. Because I think narrow knowledge, if I remember that his video, but realizing there's a God frequency, because everything's just vibration. Everything's just vibration. And so if you can align, and your ego, this version of you, has a frequency also, right? It's the chemical state that you continue to put your body on because your body is at a homeostasis level. Homeostasis is just a fancy word that it's, honestly, you might have to Google that because I'm kind of slipping on it. But basically, I'll try to explain it. It's like you're riding a bicycle and you're on constantly, moving forward. Your body's at homeostasis. But as soon as you stop pedaling, you fall, right? And you didn't maintain your balance. And so it's kind of like you an experience, like you can be having a great day, and then something triggers you and you explode at someone because you got out of homeostasis balance. You got out of your normal waking day, how you experience life, right? And we all have those moments. And so you must learn to recreate a self-image. And I think this book had it down pat on recreating a self-image. But the biggest thing is, how do you recreate a self-image? Like I said, once you get clarity on who you want to be, then it's really just figuring out who you want to be and becoming that person. I would recommend reading the book because it goes into a lot of details. I'm sure we can go on and on about the book, Psycho-Cybernetics, even Breaking Habit Being Yourself, even though I didn't go that much into it. I didn't actually go into it. But I think the biggest thing is understanding, guys, the kingdom of heaven is within. It's in your own mind. You got to understand the universal law, right, of mentalism. All is mind. And when all is mind, it's mental, right? Right? I love the quote, right? I think, therefore I am. And I don't think that's the right quote, right? I am, therefore I think, right? I'm pure consciousness. I've always been here, spirit form. And because I'm just in this ego human body, I'm able to, I'm just, I'm here. But I'm accessing something higher too. That's what I truly believe. You're connected to some higher source that's guiding you. It doesn't speak. You got to feel it, the energy, the vibes. Learning to master yourself, because as you go through this process of changing your self-image, you learn to master, you start to see the world in a different light. And I don't know, I can't help you see that light. Oh, I'm going to try with all the content that I give will come out moving forward. But understanding that you must be disciplined in the work that you must do for the gift that God has given to you, or the mission that God has given to you, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be anything grand. It's just yours. What are you looking for? What do you want to aspire to be in your life? What moves your heart? What gets you going? Right? Do you love stability so much that you're willing to let your soul and spirit be crushed because you're not living through their true full potential? But remember, it's whatever you want it to be. If you're not feeling that excitement every day of working towards your goals or doing something new or exploring, then you're the same person. And that self-image will be reinforced over and over again. I believe it was Dr. Joe Dispenza, neurons that fire together, wire together. I remember from the book. And so if you continue to fire off the same neurons, you're creating the same chemical state within your own body. And if you're creating the same chemical state in your own body, you're in a homeostasis state. You can never change because you haven't changed yourself here. Because when you can see yourself in this version of you, in your self-image, in your imagination, right? Because he talks about visualizing in the book and doing role play. Really just working on seeing yourself as the new version of yourself. You see right now, this version of me right now is something in the works. I've been working on this guy for years now. Self-development has become a passion of mine. And I understand this is only the tip of the iceberg. I know there's more to come. Just need to wait and be disciplined and show up. And so I share this book with you guys so that you can start changing your life, because I think, we all deserve happiness in this life. And that greatness starts with you.